This tournament's going to give me diabetes. I'm going to have diabetes after this tournament. Celtic. Draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's not why I'm disappointed. McGregor with an absolute golden opportunity to send us above Borussia Mönchengladbach into third place. Still some sense of hope that there is something there. And he just squanders it. Could have cut it back to Sinclair. Nope. And I turn to M&M's again. My only comfort in the world to turn against him. But anyway, yes, we're back on TYT Sports to discuss the Champions League back in action this Tuesday, November 1st, 2nd, 1st? It's 1st. So yes, Manchester City. That's, of course, going to be the team that we're going to focus on to start with. What a result. 3-1 win over Barcelona. Lionel Messi doing Lionel Messi things. For the first goal, typical Barcelona counter-attack. Fluent, direct. Neymar's pass into Messi was frighteningly well-timed and executed. Messi goes through like he likes to do, timing his run into the box. And it's 1-0, and you might think this is going to happen again. It's what's expected. And then Manchester City had something a little bit different. They had Kevin De Bruyne wanting to play in this game. That's the difference. Kevin De Bruyne finding a lot of space in and around the outside the edge of the box, really causing a problem, splitting Busquets, causing some issues for Barcelona, having their centre-back step out, having Mascherano dive in plenty of times. Could count them on both fingers and toes how many times he was trying to tackle without really just standing up. Very rare to see that from him. And then they obviously got back into the game. Kevin De Bruyne's free kick was sublime. Very well put into the top corner. And Manchester City started to grow in confidence. Gundogan, of course, they took advantage of a poor defensive error from Barcelona. Another risk that both of these teams run when playing. Any Pep Guardiola team runs this risk. Trying to play out from the back, you can get a little bit too confident, maybe allow the team to press just a little bit too high on you, and then all of a sudden they find their way in and behind, and Gundogan was the man to knock that home. And then in the second half, I thought Barcelona overall were the better team, though, to be honest. So I think in the second half, you just start to see Manchester City really come into their own. As they are 2-1 up, Barcelona have several chances. Andre Gomez strikes a crossbar from a beautiful breakaway. Suarez didn't look completely himself, laid it off unselfishly to him. But I'm not going to break down each individual moment. That's what recaps, that's what highlights are for. What I'm going to say is, this is a perfect way to shut up the critics that are trying to, at any given opportunity, scrutinize Pep Guardiola. The guy is one of the most genius coaches we've ever seen in football. Yes, his system won't always work because it does rely on playing football, knocking the ball around. You do have errors like what happened against Barcelona in the last game. You do have minor hiccups, especially when you're playing in a league that, bear with me, hold on to your seat as you get upset, Bundesliga, La Liga fanboys, whatever you are. It's the hardest league to adapt to in the world. So Pep Guardiola is taking some time to adapt. Bounce back at the weekend, great result for them. Proves that they can still beat the bigger teams. I'm not going to jump outside of my realm of thought and completely be taken away by this and be like, that means they're just as good as Barcelona. No, it doesn't mean that. It means they took advantage of some off-defensive errors for Barcelona and proved that they can mix it with the best. Kevin De Bruyne proved that he is 100% one of the best passers of the ball in the world at the moment. Just cutting defenses open, perfectly weighted passes. Don't know what Sergio Aguero was doing for their third goal. I mean, there is a claim that he handballed it back into the path of Gundogan. I think his hands are pretty much by his side, but whatever way you see it, if you're watching it with the Barcelona tinted glasses, you might see that he knocked it behind him. It's good to see Gundogan got on the score sheet for 2 goals, but it just proves that Guardiola has things somewhat on the right path. I think we can agree with that. Beating arguably one of the best teams in the world, 3-1 at home, really does prove that you understand what direction your team's going, at the least. And Manchester City stake another great claim to push for that top spot. I still think Barcelona will get it unless Celtic perform some miracles and beat Barcelona at home. But I really don't know how things are going to pan out. but it is refreshing to see Manchester City mix it with the big boys. And in the rest of the Champions League universe, some close calls for some of the bigger teams. Atletico Madrid left it very, very late. Antoine Griezmann got a goal in the 93rd minute to win that game for them. Arsenal, what a game that was. 2-2 at one point, and Arsenal proving yet again, something that I talked about on a clip yesterday with Jason is, show us that you can really basically piss into the win when you have to, and succeed in doing so. And they proved it. They have a game that notoriously Arsenal would have dropped points last year. They did drop points in games like this, up against an opponent that proved a little bit more resilient than they maybe expected. And they get the victory. They win 3-2. That's what Arsenal seems to be a little bit more about this year. Still playing that fancy football, but they have some confidence about them. They have that winning mentality that I talk about with what I would love to see in like a Manchester United more so. They look a little bit more confident. They look like they can win games, even when they're pissing against a 25 mile per hour, 100 mile per hour wind. PSG getting the win over Bal, and then we go to other bigger teams like FC Bayern Munich. A Robert Lewandowski double gets the result over PSV Eindhoven. So most of the big teams win their games. Barcelona probably a team you expected to win but didn't. Celtic, one of the biggest teams you expected to win but didn't. But either way, good run of games for the Champions League. Some beautiful goals in there as we expect. But the biggest talking point for me is Pep Guardiola proves that he isn't so scared of that old team of his that he has had some trouble up against in the past, but has had some success as well. And his Manchester City team look on the right path if they can keep it up and don't get complacent. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Francis_Maxwell on Twitter. Francis Maxwell Host on Instagram for plenty of bow ties, look back at my Halloween outfit and more. See you guys soon.